that ever hints
man,
at
dude,
something horrible,
like torture each other.
right? Immediately the internet is like, "You're Silent Hill?" Like, fucking no. It has nothing to do with Silent Hill. Stop it. Stop doing that, internet.
You can keep getting mad about that and Mother 3, but they're gonna keep doing it. Minecraft modders have added virtual box support so that you can run virtual machines inside of Minecraft. What the fuck?
They had Windows 95 machine running, so if you're Minecraft, you can play Doom.
Analog finally released final details about the Analog Pocket, including a pre-order date, and that date has passed and pre-orders sold out in less than 15 minutes. Now they have come out since and said that they are going, that basically what they came out and said is, hey, pandemic, global production is slow, we have limited units, and they indicated that they were going to do it anyway. I assume after they get the manufacturing nailed down, it's still 10 months out from the but it did. And also the dock is $100. Yeah, as I predicted.
The unit is what, $199?
$199, which is, I will say this, in the realm of backlit GBAs, $199 for the Analog Pocket is a very competitive price.
Especially with how high resolution the screen is.
Yeah, it's a 4K screen, and it presumably does other things, because an AGS 101 just straight stock AGS 101 GBA in good condition is going to
and with that screen, because of how high resolution it is, it can accurately show the exact pixel density of any of the systems that it's playing. So they were authentic to how they would have on the original.
Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War has allegedly been leaked by Doritos marketing campaign.
I don't care about that game at all, but that's one of my favorite headlines for the last few years.
I don't give a fuck about Doritos until they bring back Doritos 3D Blast. Bring it back!
I thought they were just Doritos 3D.
Whatever they are.
3D Blast is
I
a
like
Sonic
it.
game.
I want Doritos Sonic 3D Blast Saturday.
You want Sonic to blast 3D Doritos into your life.
I pay so much money. I would devastate my financial situation with that. PS5 may have swappable faceplates. No. New Animal Crossing update has fireworks added to the game.
There's other stuff too. I just have to look at what it is because I don't play Animal Crossing.
They have also recently added swimming, although I think we covered that, but I haven't played the game.
So there was another major update.
The second somewhere there. Yeah. Cuphead was announced and subsequently released for PlayStation 4. Japanese PSP owners are noticing batteries swelling beyond use, as most early PSP batteries have reached the end of their useful life. They do have shelf life, and
we're going to start seeing that with a lot of retro systems with rechargeable batteries. GBASP can start having that issue.
Thankfully, rechargeable batteries for these systems are still very useful.
But they are of questionable quality.
Poll from NCD says over 50% of gamers intend to buy a next-gen console within 3 months of launch, with 84% choosing the PlayStation 5.
I have a hard time believing any of that.
I also have a hard time.
I want to know what their polling methods were, what the sample size was.
I suspect that they both self-identified as gamers, thus dramatically narrowing their view. Because if I was in a mall or something and someone's like, hey, we're doing a survey, would you identify yourself as a gamer? I would be like, no, please don't talk to me. Goodbye, right?
I'm all super picky.
New Steam rules will make it harder to purchase games from different regions via VPNs, I assume. Right, that's all the game industry wants, is for publishers to be happy, be profitable, and just keep fucking us, whatever you want to do.
You know, I never even realized there was an option to mash out the chunk for never having advantage of it.
There are so many Steam alternative sites that I just go to isthereanydeal.com. Animal Crossing director deletes her Twitter account after receiving numerous critical messages, and I do want to say this. I am always against harassment because it's called harassment. It's harassment. Don't harass people. I read showed some of the tweets, and every single tweet they showed was just saying things like, hey, why can't I back up my game to the cloud or save it anywhere? This is super archaic and backward. We need to fix this right now.
How dare you harass that poor woman?
And so I don't want to say there wasn't harassment going on. I'm sure there was because it's the internet. But she's also the director of Animal Crossing. She's the person you should be tweeting to complain about lack of features in the game. Like, that's exactly her job.
Right.
She's the director. She should be receiving that criticism. So to anyone that harassed that person, fuck you. But at the same time, that article, every tweet they had was just like, please add cloud saves, please, I'm gonna lose my data. But then the headlines made it sound so much worse. I don't know.
Darker than it was.
Maybe they just couldn't find the bad tweets, I'm sure. Right. And then finally, port of Japanese cult classic anti-RPG Moon is releasing on Switch on August 27th, which is 7 days after Battletoads Saturday, so I don't know how they expect to have any sales. Because Battletoads is coming out.
Yeah, but who's gonna buy Battletoads?
This is true.
Yeah.
This is true. But I'm gonna spend all my money on Game Pass, years of Game Pass, so I can always have Battletoads. I know nothing about Moon, but I'm intrigued. So I might be. Anyway, let's get into the topic at hand. This week we are talking The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. You might have heard of it. It was on the Super Nintendo, and it was a game.
That's the thing. Thanks for listening.
So you want to give us some synopsis for Link to the Past, which sounds so silly to even ask to someone like.
So it's the third Zelda game, and it tells what they originally said was the origin story, and they have now said it is the story of Link, which they have now said is a Link. He says Zelda, which they've now specified as just a Zelda from Ganon, or maybe a Ganon. I don't know if that's the same Ganon. And it happened sometime before the events of the first game. Late gameplay framework that the series will follow for the next 2.5 decades.
Right. Of course, it's a game where you explore dungeons that give you tools that help you explore different parts of the world that were previously blocked off. Right. So it's a Metroid game.
Basically, it's
yes, Souls-like elements. Right. So when you die, you sit back a little bit. Pretty much proto-Dark Souls. I hope no. There's gonna be one listener that like had no idea what the game was. They're like, oh, this sounds fun. We're gonna be like, this is not any of those. Let's get into some listener feedback. As you can probably guess, we had a good amount. So if your message was dramatically edited, sorry, it was cut from. First up, Elkney Daps says, a friend and I decided to play Link to the Past on Super Nintendo on Switch Online. It's an old favorite of mine and something that is new to her. Using the Pass the Controller feature, we took turns clearing areas in each dungeon, and during the week, I would do the overworld grunt work so we could wreck dungeons on Sunday nights. We still haven't finished it, but it's the game we always go back to. So CT, if you're listening, we have an ice palace to conquer. Good fucking luck there. 87 says, it wasn't until I traded my original GBA for a GBA SP that I got into Link to the Past. It's going okay. I'm not gelling with it too well, but I'm progressing. At some point, I get this mirror that teleports me to an alternate dimension and makes me a defenseless pink bunny. I could not get past that bit, and with Golden Sun within arm's reach asking for a third playthrough of the first Golden Sun, I just could not be arsed. One day I will return to Hyrule and get past the horrible pink bunny section. One day.
It's like
I'll echo that whenever I was playing it growing up, I could not figure out what to do there. I would get stuck there almost every time. Wake 911 says, probably the minority here, but I'll always be on the Zelda 1 side more than Link to the Past. I never had it on my SNES, so I played it on emulation. Many years later, my friends weren't big Zelda fans either, and I've still never beaten it. I think the farthest I've made it is about halfway. I try to play it every year, but get bored and stop after a while. Cool Handstand Man says, I eventually bought SNES when they were $99, and I rented Link to the Past. I played through about a third of the game in a weekend, but did not return to it until this past year. It jump-started my interest in the series, and I have beaten Link's Awakening, Minish Cap, and Minish Cap in the past few months. I just got a Switch, and I'm excited for Breath of the Wild, and I'm hoping to revisit Ocarina of Majora's Mask in the near future. The game itself is in the upper echelon of the 1985-2000 era. That's a big era. It's a huge era. Rygar Starkong says, I will never forget the feeling that came over me when I first played the past, especially my first visit to Kakariko Village. There was just something about the music that moved me. As a matter of fact, I was so moved that I immediately started learning to play it on the piano. What a magical experience this game was. I believe that I often chase the dragon of trying to recreate the feeling of playing the past or the first time. Robbie says, my dad got this for me when it came out because I only had an SNES at the time. I remember it took me years to beat back then, pardon me, because of this one stupid block you had in Mystic Mire. I recently played on Switch Online, and it was amazing how going through the mazes in the dark, my muscle memory kicked in all these years later, and I walked right through them like I've been doing it since I was 6. And finally, Talentina says, Link to the Past was the first in the series that I played all the way through on